lovelies, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Omotola. If you're new here, you are welcome. Please do well to subscribe and click on the bell notification icon. That way you get notified every single time I upload a new video, which is at least once every week. Yes, I'm smiling. In this video, when I saw this headline, the song that came to my head was Eshibiribiri Kebomi o, Iwaju Lolo. Because right now, confusion now, confusion is what is just in my, that's the only word in my head right now. Because help me make this make sense. The UK may lift work hour limits during studies. This is just a few days after the hula balu of Sola Man, our mommy. Yes, she made another statement saying that, the post-study work visa that we are currently managing, the 2 years that they have given us to work, that does not even count towards indefinite leave to remain. They're going to slash it to 6 months if you are unable to secure a work placement or sponsorship by the end of that 6 months. You will carry your bag and then you will go back with all your family and all your dependents. Just let's read the article together. I will also leave the link to this article in the description box, just in case you want to read it yourself. Okay? Alright, so today's video is exactly what the thumbnail says. If you clicked on the video today because of the thumbnail, you did not read wrong. The UK is planning on lifting the ban or the restriction regarding the number of hours that you can work as a Tier 4 visa holder, otherwise known as students. International students can now, may now be able to work unrestricted hours, or the time could be increased. But before we get into the gist of the story, if you have not been following the back story regarding the whole back and forth of the international student saga regarding the Home Office and the Home Office Secretary, Sola Lusi made a series of comments in the past regarding the international students, their dependents, and recently she talked about cutting back the number of years that the post-work study visa can last for. And currently it is sitting at 2 years. You can stay back for 2 years and get a post-study visa, provided that you maintain the conditions of your visa and everything. It will be granted to you. It's kind of guaranteed. Like after you study here in the UK, you have that pathway to stay back for 2 years and get a post-study visa. But Sola Lusi is proposing that this be cut to 6 months. To be fair, this is not the first time it's happening. It was taken away in 2012. I think it was Theresa May's regime. So the post-study visa was reintroduced, and this led to a massive influx of, international students and their dependents. And this kind of caused a stir with the Home Office, and there's been a lot of gbas, just to put it mildly, with the international students and then the Home Office. But this is a top-up on the recent leak that was released by the Home Office. Only a few days ago, the Home Office leaked that, they might be cutting back the number of years that the post-work visa will last for. And they are proposing that they will take it from 2 years to 6 months, which is obviously ridiculous. So, but just a few days later, they've come out to, give us another update saying that this is what they are also proposing. And I'll just read the headline for you. This is from the Pi News, and it says that the UK may lift the work hour limit during studies. So the UK government is considering increasing the number of hours international students can work for during their studies in a bid to fill job vacancies across the country. All right, so if you did not know, in the UK, international students are only allowed to work 20 hours during term time, and off term time they are allowed to work unlimited hours, except you are working in the health care setting under the NHS or an NHS trust. That is when you can do more than 20 hours. So right now the UK is proposing that they lift the ban of 20 hours, and that's what this headline is on. Let's read on. In surprise news, ministers are considering extending the work hour limit from 20 hours per week, with the government debating whether to increase the limit to 30 hours or to scrap it completely, according to a report from The Times. The idea aligned closely with policies in Australia and in Canada and comes as the Prime Minister is focused on ensuring economic growth. In a clear clash of policies priorities, the news comes in the same week that it has been reported that the Home Office Secretary, Tola Lusi, is trouting plans to reduce the graduate route visa from the current 2 years down to 6 months of post-study work. I mean, it's just blowing hot and cold right now. So regarding the extended work rights, one source told The Times that ministers were looking at what more can we do to remove barriers and encourage students to work as part of a range of ideas being considered to tackle rising job vacancies. The UK is currently facing a worker shortage, and this is, largely due to Brexit and the whole saga that led, after it. And there's just a lot of vacancies right now for skilled workers and unskilled workers. Believe it or not, almost every job you can think of is in the shortage right now. Like, they're looking for people to actually take up roles here in the UK. Now, if you're thinking of increasing the number of hours that students are allowed to work from the current 20 hours to about 30 hours, or even thinking of scrapping it completely, I mean, how does that even begin to work? In the county where I am, there's a university that's actually quite popular, and we have been told that the UKVI actually go there to take attendance for those who are taking lectures. This is like a surprise visit or a surprise drop by for international students who are supposed to be taking lectures. I mean, reports have already started reaching them that some students are doing more than the 20 hours, and UKVI is actually going to, inspect and, have these surprise visits. Also, Suella Braverman touched on the point that international students were using like back doors to be able to get on tier 2 sponsored jobs. I mean, this is what you are accusing students of, and then this pathway is also opened again. It's kind of confusing at this point because, students are look for ways to be able to stay back. A lot of people are migrating for different reasons, but we know that the large majority of people who are actually migrating to the UK have plans to stay back and actually work, get the experience, and probably move on. So we know that 6 months is little to nothing. It's even the 2 years post-work visa that we have right now. You're not under any pressure to get any employment, to stay back in that time. It also says that as for reducing the graduate route, this proposal has been sharply criticized by university stakeholders as well as some within Braverman's party. The Department of Education and the Department of International Trade are both thought to be against the idea of reducing the length of the post-study work visa. The former Home Secretary publicly praised the graduate route at an event on Wednesday, saying she is a great believer in the scheme. Now, just last week, the APG of international students wrote to the minister urging them to make changes to maximize the potential of the UK's educational export sector. The Home Office must be included in cross-departmental engagement to truly make the international education strategy a success, adding that the department has a key part to play in ensuring the UK's study visa system remains competitive with other English-speaking markets. Now, you have to hear this. In a statement, Chief Executive of the Russell Group, Tim Bradshaw, said mixed messages from the government undermine our reputation as one of the best places in the world to study and is already deterring students from countries like India, where the government is trying to forge stronger economic routes. I mean, it's giving mixed messages right now. We're hearing something different from the government. We're hearing something different from the Ministry of Education. So I don't know. They kind of need to sit down and have a meeting on how they're going to proceed, because personally, if I were in my home country and I'm planning to migrate to a country such as this, it's kind of giving mixed messages, because where do you stand? The government is saying something else. The Ministry of Education is saying another thing. Hello? Strike a balance. Encouraging international students to work in restaurants while they study, but forcing them to go home again as soon as they've graduated with degrees our economy so badly needs is the very definition of short-sightedness. I mean, this is exactly how it is worded in my brain. Like, it's exactly the same thing. Like, students who come into the UK, before they can get the jobs that they want to do, like the skilled jobs that they want to do, they have to go for menial jobs first. A lot of people are in working in healthcare right now, a lot of students are even abandoning their, first love, like the degrees that they, worked so hard for. And they're going into the health sector because that is like the only way they can get settlement in the UK. Like it's the shortage route where, it's also being exploited as well. So a lot of people are falling victim of a lot of things. Something needs to be done really. Like there needs to be a cohesive message from the government and the Ministry of Education. Now, the Director of Universities UK International, Jamie Arrowsmith, said while it is good to see the UK government recognize the skill and expatriates international students have to help the UK economy, the body has concerns with the proposals to allow them to work longer hours. I mean, it's concerning. We are concerned with the proposal to allow international students to work longer hours alongside their studies. This could severely impact on the well-being and learning experience of students if not properly thought through. While similar caps have been lifted in other countries, significant concerns have been raised by student groups and universities. The way the university structure is right now in the UK, a lot of students coming from other parts of the world have a hard time coping with the mode of, teaching, and a lot of people do not know how to do research on their own. A lot of assignments are also given, so you need a lot of time to be able to concentrate on your work. There's deadlines, and all of these things go to show that students need the time to be able to focus on their primary assignment for why they were granted the visa in the first place. Because I don't understand why you would open up your borders, train people, and then say just go back home. It doesn't even benefit the UK. A lot of people are going to bear the brunt of this. A lot of people who might not see the need to stay in the school and actually get that degree might fall short of having to retake the course if they fail it. That means you have to pay for another semester if it spills over. That means you have to bear the cost of renewing your visa to stay in the country under the study route. There's only so much that you can do within that time, and it's best to just focus on your primary assignment, move on, and then get this job that you are training for. It will save you a lot working these unskilled jobs, and you're breaking your back and working these crazy hours, knowing people who wanted to come into this country as technocrats. I studied some courses to level up, and as soon as they have done that, they want to go into the jobs that they are studying for. Not everybody's going to do care. Not everybody's cut out for this work. Not everybody's going to, be doing all these menial jobs forever. It's just like an entry-level job. Like, this is what is available right now. We'll do this for the now, and then we'll move on to our skilled, because we are coming in to study. International students are coming in to study. They're not coming in to be slaves. This is not modern slavery all over again. I don't understand the point of cutting the time where people are supposed to work. You cut that off, and then you tell them they can work more while they are studying. It really doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. Help me make sense of that. It also says that if the UK government really wants to ensure that the UK's almost 680,000 international students can make the best possible contribution to our economy, they will be better advised to maintain a competitive post-study work offer and immediately recommit to the graduate route, and to put an end to recent speculation that it may be limited or removed entirely. They are better off being able to work unlimited hours after they've studied for 2 years than for them to juggle work and school at the same time. It's a no-brainer. Maybe this is why they're doing what they do. In 2022, both Australia and Canada scrapped the limit on the number of hours foreign students could work in the countries to help address labor shortages. Australia's government announced the policy in 2022 January, saying that it would both fill critical workforce shortages as well as entice international students back to the country. Is the UK now looking at other countries as a pattern? I mean, do what works for you. If this works for Australia and Canada, it may not work for the UK. I mean, a lot of things that Australia and Canada are offering, the UK is not offering. So this article ended by saying that stakeholders in both countries have welcomed the choice and flexibility extended work hour offers students, but have also raised concerns that it has the potential to distract students from their studies. 100%. 100%. I honestly believe that the UK government needs to have a rethink about these policies that they are leaking and proposing. I honestly believe that, it will hurt the UK immigration, it will hurt the UK education, it will hurt a lot of things, like even the finances. Let's not even joke about that, because we know how much, money the UK is making from the graduate or the study route. So, you people, let's continue this conversation in the comment section. I said, let me just give you this one as it is hot. So you guys, what do you think? Let's talk about this in the comment section. Anyway, you guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let's carry on this conversation in the comment section. If you found anything useful in this video at all, if you found it helpful, please do want to leave me a huge thumbs up. It does a lot to help my analytics and also get other people to see this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.